Hi guys, my name's Sarah. I'm going to call this channel the Northwoods Stitcher. I live in Maine and this is my first floss tube. I should be cleaning my craft room today, but it is what it is. And hopefully, as you can see from the chaos behind me, it looks like a lot of your spaces, but that's the creative flow. Anyway, I got a little list of stuff that I wanted to share today. I don't really have any works in progress to share, but just a lot of hints and tips and stuff that I wanted to get out there and maybe get some feedback on and see what you guys are doing. We'll talk about storage, stitching health, and I don't know, just watch the snow fly by the windows behind me. We've got some snow spittle going on. I do a lot of different crafts, but cross stitch is my primary one. And I do, well, you can see from my sweatshirt, I do it on different things. And I try to do different things with my finished products because I tend to pile them up and not want to frame them, and it's so expensive to frame. This is just using waste canvas on my sweatshirt, which is way too big for me, but it's super comfy and I like just lounging around in it. So I stitched some random snowflakes on the arm. They go all the way around. Just one arm, just to be silly. But it actually makes putting it on in the dark really easy because I can figure out which way is the right side. I do a lot of my own framing. And what I try to do is go to yard sales. I'll even go to the dump because we have like this gift house where people put useful items. Sometimes I find frames there. I go to Goodwill and I will probably take in my bigger products or bigger stitches in to get professionally framed, but it's just so expensive. For example, back in 2020, I did this larger cross stitch. What is this one? This one is a cottage garden and it's the Halloween sampler. This is not glassed, but I did find the frame at a craft store and it was just a bit too big. Boy, do I see a crease in the bottom now. So I did frame it myself with some mat board. I put this on the back to remind myself. When I took it in to get it quoted for framing, they wanted to charge me $353.95. And I think that was not with museum glass. So I was just not impressed. And I did want it originally with mat board. So I did try to size it myself. We'll take it out and iron it again. And because there was this gap on the bottom, I just went and found some stenciled letters also in the craft store, painted them and stuck them on the bottom, which really made it cute. So there's hope. But that's just one of many that I still have to frame and are waiting in the piles. I think I'll do number 2 because this one is Cottage Garden Halloween Sampler, and I think they've done a second one. It was such fun to do. I used all the called for threads, and I really thought it was cute the way it came out. To have a bigger Halloween stitch is fun. And don't be afraid to add things to your frames. I've actually got some clay that'll air dry because some of the frames that I do find have imperfections on them. There's, a little nick or something, but you can cover it up. Put a button on it. You can put, I'm going to try to mold some of these clays to make little fleur-de-lis in the corner. Paint over them with some acrylic, or maybe just make them look a little antiqued. Rough them up with some sandpaper and put a light stain on it. You can get a water-based stain, same aisle as the acrylic paints. Let me grab it. So this is a maple and an oak stain, and it's by the Folk Art series. They do, Folk Art does a lot of different acrylic paints. But this is water-based and it washes right out of your paintbrush. It's wonderful. You can use them on your hoops before you frame your stitch in a hoop. That's really handy for that. And you can also use them if you're going to do small wood frames or baskets as well. This is an example of a Goodwill find. This little frame I found at Goodwill. And if you look closely, you can see a couple little nicks on it. Not too concerned about that. It makes it look like I've had it for a while. I could probably darken them in with a marker, but it's still really cute. This little stitch is called Rabbits, Carrots, and Eggs by the Stitchy Princess. I found her on Etsy. She's also got a lot of postings on different Facebook groups. I did this on a 14 count Zweigart. I think it's probably a dusty blue. I did use some thread substitutions in the greens because I did this on a blue, and I think her original one was done on like a sand or light tan or light khaki. I wanted to do a different color, more Eastery. And then when I frame something myself like this, I put a little note in the back. So it's kind of like having a librarian pocket with a little index card in it. My husband found these on Amazon. I find them pretty handy because I put them on crates and storage things. But I used mat board. The cross stitch was mounted on a mat board, and then I used this surgical tape, which is fabric. It's not plastic. I put the stitch down, taped it, put this piece of mat board over it, and then taped that, and it's very sturdy. Not worried about it. This will be its first Easter to be up, because I just finished this on March 5th, which is pretty cool. When I stitch, I do try to keep like a list of what I've done. So I found a notebook that didn't have too much writing on it, and I cross-stitched the front. This was actually a kit that my dad had. I lost him in 2020, but I kept a lot of his stuff, and I stitched this up and mounted it on the front. But you can see I double mounted it, so in the event that this notebook gets full, I can just rip it off, glue it to another front. But in here, I try to keep down all the information, like who the designer is, when I started it, when I finished it, what the fabric was that I used, if I made any thread substitutions. I try to stay organized. Doesn't always work. And then I can go back and even make notes of where I bought some fabric, because I don't know about you, but I'll order something, it'll come in, and I'll be like, what did I order this for? Which project? So I try to make myself notes for everything. You can do small ones too, small notebooks. Oh, and another really cool thing that I'm sure a lot of you have seen are putting your finished stitches on a magnet board. I finally made one. And this is a Prairie Schooler. I might have written on the back. Nope, I didn't. But you can see it's pretty ugly on the back side, but there are magnets. And there are magnets on the back. And what I like to do is to switch it out. This is Prairie Schooler As the Crow Flies. Ugly back. So I can have this one hanging in the fall. And then when I start decorating for Christmas, I'll just switch it out. Wouldn't it be cool if I did fall, Christmas, spring, summer? Well, maybe I'll get to that. I don't know. It's always hard for me to figure out how to store these, because this, of course, happens before Christmas. So by the time I get the Christmas out, I have to remember to go put this back, the board back, in the fall bin. As I do keep bins of my cross stitch, finished cross stitches, in crates. Oh, let me pull this out. So I keep things in crates. And what I do is I keep the finished cross stitches in a pillowcase, which is really a great way to protect it. And sometimes I'll use other packaging, like the bubble bubble packaging if I need that, but I don't like it to be around a lot of plastic, so I use just fabrics. So even doubling up on a pillowcase is great to do. And I get the pillowcases at Goodwill when they have their, half price. They'll tell you what color is on half price. And usually you can go get like a pillowcase for 50 cents. Now I told you the secret. I'll never be able to find them again. But this I'm going to start using the crates now to store my frames in, because my frames are out of control. I will pick up frames wherever I see them before I need them. And it's getting heavy and I can't go through them easily. So now if I go through them with the crates, it'll be much easier. The pillowcases are great too for when I'm taking things down and just rotating. You don't have to worry about where something's going to be stored because it's in a pillowcase. So I think that's pretty handy. As far as other tricks that I've learned, you do a lot of sitting when you're cross stitching, and you have to really hydrate a lot, I've noticed. So it's really hard to get water in, and I don't like these big plastic containers that people carry around, sports containers. So I drink out of a fancy wine glass. The more I like my wine glass, the more I'm going to drink water. So that's a nice tip. And I also found, particularly in the winter, my hands get really dry. And for the longest time, I couldn't find a hand lotion that wasn't greasy. And I want to put something on and go back to stitching. So I did find that the Gold Bond Diabetics hand lotion goes on and is absorbed really quickly. So that's really handy to use. And I actually have one in my purse too. Because there's nothing worse than feeling like you're going to get some lotion on your cross stitch or having trouble threading your needle because your hands are slimy. But it works really well. And because I stitched so much, years ago I had really bad problems with my hands cramping up, or I would wake up in the morning, and I don't know about you guys, but your hands, they went to sleep, and they just really ache, and you couldn't feel them or they were numb. So I would shake it off, and I thought, wow, I better go to the doctor's. Maybe I have carpal tunnel. And I went through that whole EMG study, which I wouldn't wish on anybody. And it was determined I don't have carpal tunnel, but because you stitch so much, your hands do cramp up. So I did find that if you wear night braces on your hands, it makes a world of difference. At night, we tend to curl up our hands when we sleep, because that's just a natural sleeping position. We don't sleep like this. And these hand braces, they actually keep your hands from curling. So it relaxes the muscle. And if you're stitching all day, doing that finite dexterity work, those muscles need a chance to relax. They need a chance to sleep. And the only way to get them to sleep is to keep them from curling. I don't think I can spit on without making a ripping noise. I don't want to do that to your ears. I can get this one on. But it's fully adjustable with Velcro. And it keeps your hand from curling all the way. I can still grab things. I can still read in bed. And I guess I could probably stitch with these on, but I do wear them at night because that's when I let my hands sleep. They rest. So I think these are great. You can get them on Amazon. You can get them at a pharmacy, and I think you can get them at Walmart. And it's a small amount to pay for some comfort. It's worth trying. My husband was complaining about a shoulder pain, and I gave him these for a night. Turns out he had a tendon that was being affected by him curling his hand at night. And now that he's wearing these, that tendon pain that went up to his shoulder is gone. And I don't think they're more than $20 each. We spend more on, at a craft store than we do on ourselves sometimes, but it's really useful. I think it's great. And check off what I've made notes to talk about today. I really, really love needle minders. I don't know how you guys are, but I can't get enough of them. And I didn't know how to store them for the longest time, but I think I figured it out. I took a pair of old jeans, cut them up, and put them in a big hoop. And now I can just hang them on my craft room wall. I have 3 of these now. I think this is a 9-inch hoop, 8-inch hoop. So they're all full. They're all full. But I'm still going to keep buying them, particularly now that I started making some. So I'll find little pins, like this Hello Kitty pin. I think I got a set of 4 of these at like a Five Below store. And they were pins that you're supposed to wear. This one too. And these I picked up on a trip to DC. And this was a hat pin as well. This was a button. And I just broke off the back or pulled off the backs. And if it's like a hat pin, you can really clip it off with some, oh, I don't know, it's a type of wire clipper, I guess, that I use in jewelry making. And then if there's a little nub, you can just take a metal file and file it down. And just find some of these silver, they're covered magnets. The ones that are black and, yeah, you can see that chalky. I don't trust those on my fabric for very long. They might leave marks. I like these. Neo something. They're really great though. And then I just use that E6000 glue. You can get it in big containers. I like the little ones. And just glue the magnets on. Make your own. So I think this little guy was $2.99. And I guess these 5 Hello Kitties, maybe they were $5. I don't know. No, the butterflies, I think it was a set of 2. I got an orange one and a purple one. Really pretty. And these little coins that I picked up in my travels, like this one is the Vietnam Veterans Memorial and Prisoner of War. They're 2-sided, so I think I got a whole bunch of them. And I actually have a little bag of stuff that I still want to make into needle minders. Oh, this one was a button as well. I think I got that at Joanne Fabrics or something, and I think this was a button. Might have been. So long ago, I don't remember. So some I buy, some I make. A girl can never have too many needle minders. I wear glasses with bifocals, and it makes stitching really difficult at night when I'm watching TV and I have to look down and look up at the TV, and look down and look up. So I can see the TV up here, but when I'm looking down here, my eyes don't have enough time to adjust, or I get, I don't know, a lag or something, and it's really annoying. A friend of mine told me about these. They're called Magni Clips, magnifiers. Magni Clips. I found them on Amazon. They have different strengths. I got a +2. They clip onto your glasses. I can look down. I have a close-up. And I can look up and still see the TV. And I don't have that interruption anymore in my eyes adjusting. And I can also flip them up. Pretty handy. I haven't tried the other strengths because this one works. But I guess if you order them from Amazon, they have a pretty good return. Just make sure you get them from somebody who will let you return them. Like Amazon directly and not a third party. And so I don't lose them. I keep them in a massive container because it's a little tiny other than that. I have two pairs. I keep one upstairs in the craft room and one downstairs by my stitch table. It's very handy. Some of the different apps or places that I like to go on the internet, cyberstitchers.com, cyber, C-Y-B-E-R, stitchers.com. They have really great conversion charts. And some of you who might have old kits, like I know I have some from the 80s, I'm not too happy with the thread. And they don't tell you if it's a DMC thread that they use or not. But you can even go on Cyber Stitchers, tell them what the name of your kit is, and they will convert it to DMC for you. Or Anchor. I think they have other flosses too that they'll convert. But it's really handy. You should check them out. They've been around forever. And then one of the apps I use for sizing my fabrics, particularly when I'm in a store, when I see something that I like and I want to buy the fabric right then and there, the X stitch calculator. So it's really literally X stitch calculator. That's what I would enter in if you're searching for applications for your phone. And it looks like this little icon here with the moon and the needle. When you open it up, you put in what the size of the design is. So say it's like 135 by 89. You put in the fabric count that you're gonna use or would like to use, whether you're gonna stitch over 2 or not, how much border you'd like. I always do a minimum of 2 inches, and sometimes I'll do 4. And then you just hit go, and boom, it'll tell you what size fabric you should have. It's so nice. And the inch values are automatically always rounded up for you. It's really handy to have. The other application that I recently downloaded, I'm still playing with, is just called X Stitch. They're actually on the same page as this. And that's a great way to keep track of what you have. Nobody's ever bought a duplicate of something, right? So I have duplicate Mill Hill kits. I have duplicate charts of different things. If I like it, I'm probably going to buy it twice, unless I can tell myself I have it already. So this actually has journal entries, inventory. You can list your threads. You can have a shopping list in here. If you haven't downloaded it to play with it, I would recommend it because it's really handy to have. And that way, if you ever find yourself in a local needle workshop, you can have it at your fingertips. Oh yeah, I needed that color TMC for such and such. And you can make a note. You can actually type out what you'd like, to remember. So I need Gentle Arch threads for the Acorn Shaker box, Garden Gate, and Falcon Brown. So I told myself for what and what colors I needed. I think when I first started using it, I was just telling myself, I need this bead or I need this floss. And then I get home and I'm like, what did I need it for? Which project? Life of a Stitcher. When I'm traveling a lot, if I'm going to go to a retreat or if I'm going to go flying or just to a stitch group, what do you do at the end of your scissors? I was using corks, wine corks for the longest time, which is great. But I did find some oxygen tubing, which is pretty handy. You can get this tubing anywhere. You can find it a lot in garden centers too, because they use it for like pond pumps, and it comes in different sizes. And I think you can get it at a hardware store for different things, but I think they'll cut it off at the length that you want. So I have a couple of places in my craft room that I keep a little 6-inch piece here or there because I'll use it for different ends. It's also great for me to use on my paintbrushes to keep the tips from getting crushed if I'm storing my paintbrushes somewhere. Because sometimes it comes in a package and it doesn't have some sort of protection or cover. Like these have a cover, which I like. But at the same time, I'm always going ka-tink. This way I can just take off the tubing and put it next to me. Very handy to have. Some other finishing ideas. I used to have this massive box, shaker's box, I guess. And my dad had one too, so I got 2 or 3 of them. And I started finishing them up and putting a cross stitch on the top, which is really cute. This is the Prairie Schooler 1995 Prairie Fairy. Isn't she adorable? I used a real needle like it called for. I think you can see it shine. When I did mount this, did I stain the hoop? No, I didn't. But I used the cording to hide the glue because I think whatever glue I used was kind of messy and bumpy. So I just kind of hid it with the cording, which really added to how it was finished. I thought that was cute. Makes like a nice little purse even. I just use it when I go off on my retreats to throw everything in here that I think I might need. And I'm always making a list before I go to a retreat because my worst fear is getting there and not having something. So there's all kinds of goodies in here. Shall we look? This, I think, is a mini travel jewelry box. Yeah, it's got a place for rings. I have Post-it notes in there, extra needles, scissors, things for the Q-snap to hold my fabric. You can see I stick some things on the top here. A thread nabbit is in there to catch any threads that might, if I pull like the base of a thread through the top by accident, I can use this thread nabbit because it's got a spiral top. Just stick it through rather than a plain needle, which is too smooth. This has a rough spiral head to it, which catches the thread, nabs it, thread nabbit, and pulls it through. I think it was a gift at a retreat, but you can find them, I think, at Joann Fabrics. Oh, also in there is something really cool called the Star Detailer. I don't know if we're going to be able to... Can you see that? So this is a closed tip in this end. And if you're playing floss chicken and you really want to use that, so it's so short, when you finish, you've probably got an inch on the back side. You can't even weave it through the back. You use this to catch it. You go underneath your stitches on the back. Sometimes it's like surgery because you're using your other needle to try to tuck it in there, and then you can pull it through. It's brilliant. Those, you can find them on 123stitch, and that's just the numbers 123stitch.com, and I think they're like $5. Very handy tool. I do play thread chicken. What else is in here? I thought I'd show you. More of these. Stamps. I don't know why. This I got for a retreat I went on, so I wouldn't put my scissors down and lose them. Not the best quality, but I think they'll probably go green in a couple of years. But they're comfortable, they're not too heavy on my neck, and it just slides right out, and they're sharp. Plenty sharp. So I use those. It's pretty stylish. What else is in there? Unfinished projects. Don't look. Well, hi. Don't look. I've even got the fabric in here to finish them. Oh, more scissors. I have lots of scissors. So that's in that little basket. I did another cute little basket. I'm sorry to tell you guys, I don't know about this pattern. I should probably have Googled it before I started this video. It says, "Oh, whale." It makes me laugh every time I look at it. I wish I could remember the designer. I'm sorry. I might be able to look it up in my diary. There's nothing in this one, but I did put a little bit of felt on the bottom. And I did initial it and date it. So I did this in 2021. And that's my brain. I don't even remember who did this. But this, I remember, I did a braided cord around the design. I mounted it on foam board. Then I glued it down. Then I glued the braided cord or braided rope around it and put a little bead tassel on it so I could have a way to open it, which is great because there's no real handle and it's just precious. It'll be my catch-all. I did one more recently. I love this one. This I found at a Goodwill, and it had a really sweet painted top. I think it was painted tulips on the top, but I changed it to cross stitch. Cape Cod girls got no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones. This was lined. It was very clean. The original artist's name is in there. I just finished it this, oh, this is full of other things. I just finished it a few weeks ago. So that design is in my little diary. Hello. I'm so organized where I want to be. The Mermaid Stitch is by Medeiros Needlecraft, Mederiros, IBNOS. Done on 11 count with a 5x9 oval hoop. So this is an old cross stitch. I remember it was done on black and white. I think it was one of those hand-drawn charts, which really plays on your eyes. But I did okay with it. So Medeiros Needlecraft. I bet it's over there in my pile somewhere. I could find it. Probably put it in my nautical patterns. Hold on. Enjoy the backdrop. Oh, the mess that I have. It's messy. So messy. I try to keep my charts in binders in little sleeves. Nautical patterns. Let's see if I put it in here. Cape Cod girls, I got no combs. They comb their hair with codfish bones. Yeah, I got it. Medeiros. Bloop. So I did a lot of changes actually. I used 2 different Crynecks, entirely different beads. Changed her hair color. I think changed the mirror. I did a couple of changes in this. Yeah, I used 3 different types of metallics, but it's really cute. It's a 2006 chart, guys. I don't know how easy it is to find. Originally, it was supposed to be a shaker pincushion. I just thought it was really cute. And in that basket, I actually put some scissor fobs. So I'm using tiny little lobster clasps, they're called. They only fit on the smaller, they won't fit on the big scissors. They'll only fit on the smaller needlework or needle, what am I trying to say? The smaller scissors. I came across a whole bunch of these beads. So I did blue, I did green, I did brown. I just thought I'd make up a bunch of them, keep them in there, and maybe take them to a retreat and say, here, you my friend. Give them away. Because I just think they're adorable. Let's put those back. But I did use just a beading wire and the lobster clasps. And the tassels came off of some earrings from Walmart in the clearance section because they were cheap. I think the earrings were $4 a pair, and if you look up tassels, like buy miniature tassels already made, it was a crazy price. And I was like, I'm not doing that. It's not gonna happen. So this one doesn't have a front cover, but this is Christmas. One of many Christmases. I get the top loading sheet protectors because they're so handy. And I put even the ones I print out for that are freebies in here. DMC had freebies. Usually any designer's website that you go to has free charts. So if you like a designer, go research them on the internet and you'll probably find free charts. Ah, there is my Astor Place cards. I was wondering where I put that one. So I would love to hear how you guys are organizing things because I am so overwhelmed. Sometimes it keeps me up at night trying to figure out how to organize things. The crates have helped. The binders have helped, but if you could see how many binders I have, it'd be a bit embarrassing. Maybe 25, maybe 30. It's okay, it's all good. I do other crafts too. I make cards. You can see there's stamps and paper. And what else did you guys see when I got up? Boxes everywhere. It's a mess. I have a carding table behind me. This table in front of me I use primarily for cross stitching, which should be cleared so I can take the pile of finished cross stitches and frame them. But that doesn't always happen. So I try to do like once a month, frame something or completely finish the finished cross stitch. Sometimes that works, sometimes it doesn't. I found these at the dollar store and started painting these up. They're little snowflakes. There's no reason why I couldn't put a cross stitch on these, but I didn't think about that until afterwards. I used a fabric paint, which will dry 3-dimensional, to do the roof tiles. And then I just painted over it with like a sparkly glitter glue. But those will look cute on the tree. I'm really crazy about Christmas. So this year we put up a forest in the living room. So we had 3 trees just in the living room. 1 on the porch, 1 upstairs in a bedroom, 1 overlooking the driveway so you can see it when you're pulling in at night. And I usually put 1 up in the bedroom as well. So I'm always on the lookout for ornaments. And then I got a white tree this year that I'm using for Valentine's, St. Patty's Day, and Easter. I just kept coming across so many smaller stitches that are holiday related, and I don't know what you're supposed to do with all of these tiny little things. I can only make so many pillows for a bowl. So I'm just going to start making ornaments, and now I have a tree. I even bought a rotation stand for it so it can spin. So now I can make little ornaments and keep myself happy with that. And sometimes it's really good to do a small cross stitch while you're doing your other stuff because you have instant gratification, and it just feels so rewarding when it's done. All right, you want to see my wanna-do pile? I'll show you one of my wanna-dos. One pile of my wanna-dos. Gilliana cross stitch on Etsy. House of Christmas. Galliana, yeah. So that's the Christmas house. I printed this off in black and white. I want to say the picture on Etsy is in blue. And I'm trying to figure out if I wanted to, it might be in red. I don't want another red work because I have a whole bunch of those. So I'm thinking about a blue. Maybe that's what I'm thinking blue. Maybe a variegated. I think that's lovely. My plans for my want to do is to put this on a 28 count Lugana, and it's antique white. I think that'll be so much fun. Oh, this is an oldie. Here's another wanna-do. Fish of Wealth. It's a 2002 PINN Art and Technology. I just love that. For whatever reason, I find that there's a lot of Asian influence in the bedroom. It's just the Asian room, I guess. So he's gonna go in the bedroom. We used to have a koi pond, so it's a lovely thought to have that. I have all the threads and the fabric, so I really should start this. I'm gonna do this on a Aida, 14 count beige Aida. I like to stitch on everything, really. So I will do linen, I'll do Lugana, I'll do Aida. So that's perfect. I don't call it fully kitted up unless my fabric is ready to go. I like to wash my fabric, or at least get it relaxed. I don't like lines in my stuff. What am I gonna do? Put that over there. And I do hand stitching and Q-snap. But a lot of you are laughing right now if you know me because I've lost my Q-snaps. I had such a massive collection of the frames and the clasps, or the clamps. So I separated them. So my clamps I have. I just don't have my frames. I don't have my tubing pieces. I don't know where they are. They're somewhere in my craft room, which is why I need to clean my craft room. I'll get there. Then I have Lola Crow cross stitches on Etsy. Piece of My Heart. Now this was done by some other floss tuber, and I fell in love. This is why we shouldn't watch FLOSSTUBE, because we're like, I want to do that one. Anyway, I'm so excited about this one. I will do this with the called for colors. And I think, did I get the fabric? Black. Black? I thought I had the black fabric in here. Oh heavens, maybe I don't. I hope I didn't take it out for something else. It'd be just like me. Pretty sure I got 18 count Aida for that one, because I want to do something mindless in front of the TV. Oh, and then I get a lot of back and forth about this. Some people are like, oh, I love it. Some people are like, eh. Abe Lincoln, have you guys seen this one? The Carriage House. I just love it. I think it's great. I want to do 2 of these. And I don't need to say for who. Is that a 20 count? I have bought, yeah, I got a 20 count Aida for this. because I went ahead and computed what it would be. A 20 count over one, excuse me, with a 2-inch border. That would be a 10 by 15 or 8 by 13 without a border. So I think I could fit it in a 9 by 14 frame. That's the thought process. This will be fun to do. What else is in my Wannados? Oh, this is my Wannados. I took it out. So this is the Just Cross Stitch 2022 Halloween Collection magazine. I love marking everything off. I've got this great melon colored fabric from one of my favorite, and I think only local needlework shops up here. We don't really have anybody. Lakeside Stitches in Greenville, Maine, Moosehead Lake. Just shout out to, hey, Patty. Anyway, gorgeous color. I'm going to do my spooky. Oops. I thought that was really cute. And then, maybe this is what it is. I think I have the blacks here, 18 count. Because the other one I'm going to do is this quick cutie. I love the cobwebs. So I did get the black fabric for that. I think I need more. Oh, yes. Also, when I was up at Lakeside, I picked out Stormy Night Ada, which is really cool, variegated. Look at that. It's got a shadow in it because I'm going to do the Raven Moon. Very dramatic. I think that's so pretty. It doesn't look like it has a lot of colors, but it does. The moon, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's 7 different threads in this. Who knew? So that's the one, that's another Wannados. Oh, this is a cute little finish I did. It's a freebie from Doreen Jones. Isn't he cute? And I added some Krynic to give some metallic sparkle to him. And I painted the hoop with a sparkly metallic midnight blue. Oh, it doesn't really show up too well, but he's really cute. I just finished him. I don't know why he's living in a paper bag, probably because I have to. Oh, I was gonna take it to my next stitch and show somebody because he's really cute. But Doreen Jones, I think I was on a Facebook group that had some free charts, so I was really excited about that. I don't know how many Facebook groups I'm in, but a lot of them. Another Etsy purchase, Stone Street Stitch Works Book House. That is so sweet. And it's so true for me. I love escaping into a book. I think I need to do that a few times for a few people. Very simple stitch. I think I picked out, I have an 18 count vintage country mocha. I think I need to pull, oh no, I did pull the threads. So I need to lay the threads and commit to the fabric, prep the fabric, and then I'm ready to go. Oh, so this is my immediate Wannados. This is a lot. So holiday 2006, just cross stitch Christmas ornaments. Look at all those tabs. I need a lot on the front even. I don't know what I'm gonna, yeah, there's a lot in here. 10 tabs. There's just some cute stuff. If you don't have this issue, I would recommend getting it. It's full of gorgeous ornaments. A lot of these are just so gift worthy. A lot of great designers. Prairie Moon, Country Cottage Needleworks, Homespun Elegance, the Prairie Schooler, Little by Little. I mean, just it goes on and on. That's just on this page alone. So there's just tons in there. And I think it's just, yeah, this is just ornaments. So I went a little kooky. I've got to start stitching at least one a month to get the pile more manageable. So that is my, I should call it my immediate wanna do. There's something here to the left of me. I have Matter in Hand. It's a Jeanette Douglas. I just love this one. This is partially kitted. I've picked out a 16 count lamb's wool Ada. So I'm gonna love this. I love that it has cross stitch in different languages. I think I'll change out some of the languages. Like, I don't think German, yeah, German's in here. So that's important. But there's a Russian, and I will swap that out for Ukraine. I think that's really cute. That's a feel-good one. And then another one that I have to the left of me is a number 73, the Prairie Schooler Christmas Samplers 2. I'm going to do this one because I saw it on another floss tube. I had to have it. And I love the ornaments. And I think it would be just lovely to have that framed up. And I think I do have the frame for it. I have a couple of really cool frames here. Like this one. Goodwill, $2. I don't need the mat, but I think that'll be great. It's gold too. Well, I better pair them together or I'll lose this idea of mine. So I'll put this on the floor because I'm going to end up with hamster trails in here. All right, I guess that's about it, guys. I don't want to keep you forever, and I hope you got some stitching in while you were watching. Please be sure to leave any comments and suggestions. I love suggestions because I just don't know how to organize all of my stuff. I'd like to hear how you guys manage everything. And I have probably, I don't know, another 4 buckets to show you. So I'll do another one hopefully soon. Have a great time. Have a great stitch and stay safe. Bye.